Okay, hi guys, welcome and welcome back to Watch the Obsession live stream and chat. So I just need to explain to you guys what's going on because you probably think I'm like crazy. I'm like, oh, we're gonna do this, blah, 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 and then it doesn't happen, doesn't happen, doesn't happen. It's not because I'm freaking out or like anything like that. So I started this channel. It was 3 years ago this past April, and yeah, so it's been like almost 3.5 years, right? And as we've gone along the way, y'all know how crazy the Watts case can get in general. And being a channel calling myself Watts the Obsession, I definitely experience that craziness that exists in this case, right? So things have been pretty calm since, you know, like Dave the piece of shit seeking the truth. I mean, we all feel a certain way about him. I think it's just about the same. And he's a horrible person. He is attacked and harassed and assaulted many of us here in chat right now or who are watching this. Go to hell, Dave. Um, and since his channel was resolved through YouTube and the natural process of eliminating survival of the fittest, like death for those who just suck, Dave, right? Since that all worked itself out, things for me have been pretty calm. So there's been like an increase, an uptick, shall we say, in just this stuff I've been dealing with as a creator who's covering this case, who's covering true crime in general. And like, it's okay. I've definitely developed, some tough skin covering this case for a while. Many of you guys have been with me on that whole journey, and thank you so much. And some of you are new, but you know how it goes, or maybe you don't. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit. So I was trying to identify what it was, what is it that I'm talking about on this channel that's causing, this uptick in me having really, really bad experiences. We're talking copyright strikes. We're talking community strikes. We're talking takedowns. We're talking, and all of them are illegitimate. All of them are illegitimate. We're talking, and there's some things that I don't even want to say. I start to say something and I think of how that sentence is going to end. And then I think about the ears that it's going to inevitably hit because I know who's watching. I know I see you. And if I don't see you, my computer guy sees you. And I had him see a lot of you recently. So now I know some new things. And I don't want to satisfy those people. But how do I say this? So through my own just observation of what's been going on and experience and noticing the kind of content I'm putting out, and some of you, giving me some feedback about what you think too, and thank you guys so much for that. And then also, the magic of what I never would be able to look at a computer, the back end of a computer, whatever it is, and be able to figure out like who's watching when, how often, how many alts do they have, what is going on relative to this channel contemporaneous when these certain people are around, right? I'd never be able to figure that out. So thank God for my computer guy, Chris, who is now the husband of, my friend who's, comes on the watches the channel and comments sometime. He was able to help me paint a more complete picture. So it's related to this just sort of thing that is naturally been happening on this channel, because as I'm doing the researching and as you guys are contributing and giving me information or leads, or we're doing it together, I'm finding things out, or I'm going back and looking at old documents, footage, strange things that happened, and putting the pieces together. I've been able to paint a pretty, what I believe is more complete than it has been painted so far, picture of Nichol Kessinger's, the word, the part that she played in this whole tragedy as it went down, prior to it happening, perhaps while it was happening, perhaps after it was happening, perhaps to some degree still. And it's been shocking even to myself to find these things out. So, is I was talking about during the last live stream, I don't want to keep, putting out the same Watts case stuff that's been put out for years and continues to be put out and is picked up by new channels. And God bless these new channels. I have nothing against them. Like, I'm not one of those people. It's like, oh, if you weren't, following the Watts case before Netflix, then poo, 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 shame on you. I don't care. Like, if you just found out about this case yesterday and you're here watching this, or you're, learning about it through some other channel or some other means, like, you get just as much respect from me as anyone does. Is, the people who were like horrified to learn in real time what Chris Watts was accused of doing back in 2018, right? So that's all good. Gosh, what do I want to say about that? So I don't want to keep recreating the things that have already been created, right? Because we've all heard it again and again, even on this channel. I mean, my God, I have hundreds and hundreds of videos about the Watts case. So I'm trying to take everything that I know and that I've learned and that I've been holding on to and that I have already said and that I've learned because of other channels or because of, you guys, viewers, or people, anonymous people who I've been able to, verify the information that they've sent me, because on this channel, we're all about facts, verifying, properly vetting, and all of those things that allows us to bring forth legitimate information about this case or any other. So recently I've been thinking, do I even want to do this, talk about this case anymore? I've gotten to the point, and I really think it's a phase, but where I'm like, do I even want to do this channel anymore? Like, I haven't been putting out as much content as I usually do. I've been holding things back because the sort of threatening nature of what I've been experiencing behind the scenes has really causes you to take pause, because I've been through some pretty serious situations due to covering this case before, and I need to be smart about not allowing that in my life again, because it's detrimental to like your well-being, right? And certainly it's ultimately detrimental to this channel, this channel community. So, that's something to consider. Thank you guys for being here, and hi. Oh yeah, and I did, and okay, even with YouTube, I mean, I guess, YouTube's listening, obviously, but you just have to say it as it is. I had uploaded this whole part 2, which the whole part 2, it might be like 3 hours. I was going to do a part 2 and a part 3. I think I'm just going to do it all together and just put it all out there. I mean, it's still not finished because there's now more loose ends to tie up. And I'm going to preview some of that today. So I'm grounding what I'm saying here in these kind of like, kind of fluffy terms with some actual, things that we're going to take really deep dives into. Some of it that hasn't been deep dived before. Seriously, I wouldn't say that if I didn't mean it, because there's nothing more annoying than people say I'm putting up clickbait. Oh my God, I can't stand that. So I had uploaded that video just to see that I passed all the copyright checks, that I wasn't going to be getting any, blockings, takedowns, strikes from YouTube or anyone else. So I kind of did a test run. I actually did 2. I did 3. It was all clear. So then, I announced that I was going to do the part 2 tonight. And all of a sudden, all of the test runs I had done had takedown strikes. Like every bad, just all over the place. I had 2 different emails. One was like kind of written like thought they were the Joker or something, but I got it. The point is that I better not run that part 2. And then I got another email, and I'll show you those emails. And I don't know, moderators, maybe we should meet sometime, and I can give you like more information, like even the addresses they're from and stuff. Maybe you guys could help me figure some things out, because I kind of do need help on that, but I don't think I want to make it public. Well, I don't even know, would that be doxing? I'm not sure. I think it would be. Like in this threatening way, like I want to like run some content that I've worked really hard on, that I've researched, that I've verified all the facts, I've vetted it. I had 2 other, justice leaning channels that didn't want to be mentioned. And I understand why. We talked a little bit about why that was. And I think that they've been down this road too many times. I don't think they're like putting me up there as like the front person to take the hit on it, but that's their decision and that's fine. And I get it. And maybe that'll be my decision someday. Hey, I have this information channel, but I'm going to give it to you. But I mean, actually done that. I've done that with 2 other cases, but please don't mention me, right? Because I just didn't want to, I knew I had some information that was important. It didn't want it to come from me anymore. I was just getting tired of the backlash. It was affecting my personal life. It was affecting my stress level, right? All these things that you just don't want. But I know other people want that information. So, telling them everything that might come along with that information, if they decide to still run with it, and people did, that's up to them. And, I will support them in, providing sources and things like that once I have a trusting relationship with these people, because I don't want them to out me either, right? Just one second. Cole? Cole! Cole! Sorry, guys. Cole! He's making something on the stove, and I hear burning grease. Just one second. Let me mute it for 1 second so I'm not screaming in your ear. I don't know. Maybe I should just physically get up and check on that. I will in a second. So yeah, so then all of that, like, I've always said, like, my friend the other day, like, had posted something, and I've always don't like it when people, just, I don't know, like, mostly when they do live streams all the time, they're like, here's my Cash App, here's my PayPal, here's my Venmo, here's my, like, I'm sorry, I just think that's obnoxious when you do that, people, for the most part. I do understand. My son called me a snob because I said that to him a few times. He's like, well, people do what they have to do. He's such a nice kid. I raised a good kid. And I get that. People do what they have to do. But, YouTube is really sanctioning me for this content. And, obviously with the amount of hours and everything that I'm putting into this and kind of the risk of it, I have to have some kind of compensation for it, or I need, I would go teach yoga classes instead. So much less stressful, obviously. But I love you guys, and I feel so strongly about this case and others, but obviously this case is like very close to my heart. And I really feel like right now I've learned too much information about the empanada formerly known as Nichol Kessinger. And no, she's not Nicole Miller, whatever. I have looked into that with some other people too exhaustively, and she's not Nicole Miller. People are putting up red herrings. I think maybe some channels are just, self-perpetuating that kind of information just for themselves. I don't really know, honestly, what the sources are. That's just me speculating. But I can tell you she's not that Nicole Miller person that everybody's been mentioning. I do actually have one really credible lead. My friend Kathleen McKenna-Hootson, the author who comes on the channel sometimes, she's going to be on next week talking about her book, Dream House, about the Corey Richards case, because that is going to be going to trial. She and I are going to Colorado this fall, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Not that I think that Nichol Kessinger thing, the person formerly known as Nichol Kessinger thing right there in Colorado, but it might have something to do with that. But I really can't say anything more about that because it would, yeah, I just can't. Oh, let me just read chat for a minute. How are you guys doing? Thank you guys. You're so sweet. Thanks for the support. So much false information. I know it's really horrible. It really is horrible. I mean, it's like, and I get it. And the families, and some of you know that one like busted up pathetic channel. They started with the Watts case, I believe, and believes that she owns the Watts case. No one else can talk about it. Recently put a target on my back, but didn't even have anything accurate to say about my channel. I didn't even think she was talking about the right channel most of the time. Well, she got Mrs. R involved in that, and there's been a little bit of problems on that end too. And the last thing I want to do, as you guys know, is disrespect or hurt the family members, the Watts or the R families. So that really, really, really bothers me. And you know what the thing is about that, y'all? Oh gosh, this could really send me down a like when that channel, and I just won't say the name because if you don't, and please don't put in chat or anything, if you don't know who it is, I don't want to give this person even like a hate view, um, because I just can't bring myself to do it. This person pretends to be, or apparently has this friendship with the victim's mother and grandmother. And I just adore Sandy Rusick. I freaking adore, I adore that whole family. And, the Watts family, I adore them too. I understand how people have problems with them, especially Cindy sometimes. They think she is a certain way. And I don't like that she didn't go to their wedding. I think that probably eliminated any possibility of that marriage really working out, with both of them still having fulfilling lives with the families they came from, which is Nichol Kessinger will tell you that's really important. Things just need to function right, Just ask her. She knows most of the things. So I understand why people like have a distaste for her, but my God, at the end of the day, she just is like, she was just hit upside the head by a freaking 18-wheeler. And I can't even imagine what it's like to be her and try to reconcile everything that she's learned and she's heard. And she doesn't even know the full truth. People are like, oh, she's like so stupid. She thinks that, Chris didn't do this. The woman's in denial. I don't even know how you begin to process that information in a lifetime, let alone everybody wanted her to be all like cool with it in like a few weeks, right? So that's a little hard. But these are just kind of the things I've been dealing with. So I decided that I cannot be responsive to these powers that be. Some of them now identified at least in IP addresses and some email addresses, thanks to my friend Chris, not Chris Watts, but my friend Chris, the computer guy, who I hired when I had a catastrophic attack on my computer during a Kylie Rodney live stream, when I had obtained some hot information about that case and was talking about it. Some other creators at the time had been hit as well. And the interesting thing is, guys, even though I was attacked live along with a few other creators, true crime creators, that were talking about the Kylie Rodney case, that was the common bond we had at that time. And each of us was talking about some element of information that obviously people did not want disseminated. And it wasn't wrong to put out the information. Again, I checked it, I vetted the sources, it was legit. The material on my computer that was catastrophically corrupted was all Watts case. So somebody make sense of that for me, because I, to this day, am a little confused by it. But thank God I hired Chris to look into the computer stuff, because first of all, he fortifies, my computer. So I am not getting, vulnerabilities as far as people coming in and stealing my account information, or you just visiting this channel, becomes vulnerable because you're visiting this channel. So I want to make sure that doesn't happen. I want to protect you. I want to protect myself and my life, right? I think it's the responsible thing to do. So, I pay him to clean things up. He was coming in once a month, but recently it's been at least once a week or more. And that's fine. I just want to make sure that, I'm not putting myself or anybody else at risk talking about certain things, talking about the truth that has been well researched and reconsidered, sources vetted, facts verified or not, and then reported out. There's nothing wrong with that. If that information reveals wrongdoing of certain persons at certain time periods, it's being connected to certain crimes, I'm sorry, but that's going to be your problem, persons related to those crimes. And I feel I'm honored to be able to receive enough information from a variety of sources, from my own efforts, from other channels, from other creators on other platforms, from my viewers, members, subscribers, moderators. Thank you guys all so much. I'm honored that I can receive all of that information and that I take things serious enough where I'm going to synthesize it in a way that ensures it comes back pure and clean to you. There's nothing wrong with me doing that. So it's so easy for people to get inside of your head. Like, this has been happening with me again ever since I've been trying to put out this part 2. And, when we go through the whole relationship, the whole family tree of connections that we were able to make, I don't know for sure, but you, just like I, can certainly speculate as to why the information coming out might be problematic for some. Does that make sense? Yeah. Let's see. Cynthia, so you know who I'm talking about, says she tells the R's, people are saying things that might hurt them. Right. She exaggerates, and I can imagine it hurts them. Yes, that was the point. Thank you so much, because that's what the point I was trying to make. The ironic thing about that is it's her channel and it was other channels. I know that in the past there was this whole group of channels and they were all anti-AD. They ran AD off the platform. Poor Alan. I understand at times why the R's might have had problems or been at odds with him. I understand that, but I also understand that I don't think that I think he's a good person. I like him, and I liked his content, and if I were talking to him, I could maybe say, hey, Alan, like, if we're looking back on, this time period when you were putting out this, maybe, we all just got a little excited, right? And like, I think that's all it was. But anyway, that whole group, and there was that, oh God, I don't want to like start up any crap, but they were all connected through, oh my gosh, there was some group. I don't know. And they started like crowdfunding reporting channel, crowd report, whatever it's called. And those people that got together, including, who was it? Like Martin, what's his name? Shit, I can't think of his name. It's probably a good thing. Martin, maybe we shouldn't even say it, but you know who I'm talking about, right? All of those people who would just create videos. It just happened to be, it was about other creators sometimes, but it was just about horrible attacks on poor armchair detective, like, all the time. Even if he did do something wrong, nobody deserves that. This was bullying in its most ugly, disgusting form from grown-ass adults. Grow up. And the net effect that was having on the R family was horrible, because they were saying, Watch the Obsession says this, does this channel does this, Armchair Detective does this, when all of that they were bonding with their other, like, I don't know, the other creators and people and that were in that group that were, touting, I'm here to protect the Rutek family. Shine on, like Shanann, and, all that, all those, banging on the drums or the little war cries. What was really happening was they were making things up, bringing it to the feet of the R family after losing Shanann, Bella Celeste, Shanann pregnant with her first grandson, whether it's, the sister and the nieces and the nephew, or the daughter and the grandbabies, or, and then there's extended family and friends that were hurt by that too. They're bringing them all this ugly, ugly information in the form of accusations towards others, when, maybe there was a speckle of truth somewhere in there. You know how that goes, right? But it was bullshit. And it hurt that family so much. And it's disgusting. And that is actually something that in this part 2 video, as I've been calling it, that is one of my kind of conclusive points, along with, what it was specifically that Nichol Kessinger was up to and things like that. But it became very clear to me. I often say I'm not a conspiracy theorist, because I'm not. And some of you are like, oh my God, she's like definitely not a conspiracy theorist. No fun, Kelly. It's like, don't go to the party and drink water. Don't come to YouTube True Crime and, not be any kind of conspiracy person at all. What are you doing? I'm really not a conspiracy theorist. But I am absolutely convinced. I've seen the proof. It's there that there was some kind of, what do we call it, conspiracy? There was some kind of networking, some kind of agreement, some kind of collaboration, collusion, whatever word you might want to call it. Maybe it has a negative legal connotation or not. I don't know. But there was definitely something going on. There was a concerted, organized effort to ensure Chris pled out quietly and that any investigative avenues that would cause anyone to question that anybody other than Chris Wallace was responsible for that horrible, horrible, god-awful crime, and particularly certain peoples or persons or person, that those investigative avenues were shut off. They were like, whoa, no, we need some orange cones on that street. And then, you know what? We're going to dig that motherfucker up and we're going to fill it in with, like grassland. That's not a street anymore. Nobody is going down it. Nobody. We're not even going to go down it. We don't want to know. Wait a minute. We do know. But if we let on to people ways that they too could know what we know, we are not going to have that happen. I'm talking about law enforcement. I'm talking about the FBI. I'm talking about the CBI. I don't know if I'm talking about the Frederick Police Department. I don't think that was necessarily their angle. I haven't found anything that would support that idea. Honestly, I think that Dave Baumhover and Michael Prill, who authored the parts of the discovery, including the timeline and the summary narrative before the timeline, which is critical in understanding all of this. I talked about in the part 1 video. I think that they really just wanted the truth, like you would assume that a law enforcement would, an investigator would, and they were working hard to get there. I think they were surprised, and dismayed is not the word I want, because I'm dismayed is not the feeling. It's much stronger than that. When they were met by such resistance from these more powerful organizations, when they knew that they were, just like on the simple path to truth, the investigative path, doing the right things, taking the steps in the investigation that should be taken to uncover the evidence that is going to give us answers rather than to create more questions, intentionally or accidentally. But they knew that some people were not allowing answers to be known by anyone, and they were intentionally creating more questions to obfuscate the key facts and to cause a few confusion among anyone who dared to take interest in this case. I'm so sorry, my friends. That's like a lot of us. So eventually, it's taken a few years, but eventually, the critical mass of people who are interested in this case for whatever reason, who care about justice, who care about the grossly imperfect justice and incomplete justice that so far has been respected for the victims, for Shanann and her unborn baby, and Bella and Celeste. There's a critical mass of us in general who have interest. And there's also a critical mass of us who have interest in those aspects of this case. And apparently, we've just decided we're not going to shut up. So you've got a problem, don't you? But it's not going to be my problem anymore. And, so I'm just going to have to just trudge through, even when it feels like it's being problematic. Because the bottom line is, I want to do a podcast anyway, different from this channel and separate from this channel, that covers different cases, like a different case a week, or maybe there's a few cases that I've been working on. I've been, doing research and putting together. I have almost a couple of videos that are ready, would be ready for production, but I just want to get them built up so I can do it podcast style rather than just having all this, trying to respond to the new news about freaking, I don't know, who is it? Well, Maddie Soto, she's super important. I always wanted to, if I could, I'd respond to all the new news about her. But people like Plunder and Grizzly True Crime and The Docket are doing such a great job finding that information. I don't feel there's really a need for other creators to do that, but it's good for us all to talk about because it's such an important case. But the latest thing that happened with Wade Wilson, I really hate picking up the latest breaking news and making content about it or making a live stream about it. Yeah, guys, truth be told, I do not like doing that. I don't like doing it. Like everybody else is doing it. It doesn't ever really, show any kind of return as far as, our meaningful interactions. I mean, me with you guys or, viewership or anything like that. It's just, kind of more talking for the sake of talking. So I really want to get away from that. I think it's better to have more information and be able to synthesize things, report on it, discuss it, and kind of go about it that way. So anyway, the worst thing that could happen is what? So I'm gonna put out this information anyway. My YouTube channel gets taken down, so I'll just turn around and set up the podcast. So I actually probably before Friday I'm gonna have all that ready just in case, because I'm not kidding, it's been freaking ugly and stressful. Yeah, and I haven't been talking about it. Whenever I start to talk about it, I just kind of go, duh, 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 I better not say that. And I stop, but that's just making it all the worse. So I'm not trying to make you guys like my therapist tonight, but maybe you are, and that's okay. But I just want you guys to understand why things have been a little weird. Because I feel like it looks floppy and unprofessional and just little I don't know. I'm not what I'm looking for when I want to watch a YouTube channel and find a creator who I trust. I feel like I usually am that person because you guys can trust me because I do the work to make sure what I'm giving you is something you can trust. So I feel good about saying that. But things have been a little weird lately around here. What's the obsession, baby? Yeah, podcast would be awesome. I'm glad you think so. Hi, Ellie Ray. How are you? Yeah. Victoria, how are you? Oh, love you back, girl. Oh, hey, Nelda. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Utter. Always so happy you're here. And let's see, James Winfield, how are you doing? I've been looking into this and I can't figure out why somebody would put their private life on the internet. Well, a lot of people do that, right? And, the last live stream, were you there? I feel like you were. We were talking about MLMs. It's definitely a trend. All of the MLM companies who are promising, they have a certain target victim, a target participant, a target consultant, if you will, that they want, and they go after them. And the target is looking like Shanann. It's a young woman, usually sometimes single, maybe married, usually young kids, something like that. They tell you exactly what to do, how to do it, and they ask you to use your existing network of friends, family, acquaintances, coworkers, and important and not so important people from your past, present, and future that you're connected to through social media as your target cash cow milkers. And that's what you do, so they tell you in order to be successful in these MLMs, and the MLMs is not the whole of it. It's not the entire reason, so many people are maybe oversharing a little bit online. I never post on Facebook. I post on Facebook for about the content from this channel. I don't do it anymore for a number of reasons that I don't want to get into. But yeah, things get ugly out there, Dave, don't they? And so, they say they want their consultants to post 3 times a day. One is directly selling a product, one that the company wants to push. Like poor Shanann, when she first started with Thrive, and she'd be like, she'd be holding her Pure up in the beginning of the live stream. She'd be like, my Pure, I gotta take my Pure. And then she'd take a sip and she'd be like, I love Pure. She looked like she was gonna boo. It was like, jeez. And then they tell you to post something else. It's like about the company or what the company stands for, but it's not direct. It's not a direct sale. It's a sneaky sale. And then to post something personal about yourself. And all of them recommend cute young children and cute pets because everybody likes to see a post with cute little babies and pets, cute little fuzzy balls in it. And that is supposedly their prescription to you having success in their MLM so you can utilize your existing network of family, friends, acquaintances, etc., like I just said, to milk your cash cow. And I've been involved in MLMs. I've talked about this many times. I fell for a hook, line, and sinker, baby, because it's attractive at a certain point in someone's life. Thanks, Butter. Hey, how are you doing? Katie, Katie Love. Oh, I like that. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Hey, Julianne, how's it going? Hi, Cynthia. And hi, Side Chick. How's it going? Nice to see you. Hey, Riff Raff. How's it going? Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. So, okay, that's enough for me rambling for a moment here. Oh, thank you for gifting a membership, Honey Bun. You're the best. You're awesome. Love you guys. You guys are great. Hey, Darlene. Darlene Wolf Cookies. How are you doing? I just love the name. It's great. Hey, Carolina. How are you doing? Is this a nice comment? I'm going to read it. I could use one. Kelly, that's what separates you from the rest. Never change. Oh, I appreciate that. Your originality and... Woo, sorry. Just dropped my camera with some of these. My phone now because everything's being bitchy, including me and my microphone. My good one. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Really, I do. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. I mean, as you guys know, and I know you guys feel, most of you, a lot of you feel the same. And do great things for this case and awareness and causes through this case and others, as much or more so as I do with this whole channel. So it's like amazing that you guys do that. But I feel so strongly about the issues that present in this case. And, yeah, I mean, there's been with this case and for different reasons. And then with other cases, there's, I never expected I'd be in a position to be experiencing this, but there is a pattern, trouble brews, when you maybe have learned a little bit too much and start to talk about it. So it's like I've really taken a lot of time and consideration over how do I handle this stuff. And I mean, some of you know I've had some really scary stuff happen. Not with like the Chris Watts Paranormal, with actual people. Because of this channel uncovering this case and others, but this case has probably taken the most heat. Yeah, definitely, because I mean, Idaho got pretty close, but I knew when to back down from the experiencing with this case, right? So I don't know. And well, I don't know. Some others got ugly. It can get ugly. That's, yeah. God, I think I've repressed some of those memories. Now they're back. Hey, local jazz hands, how are you doing? Yes, you did. Thank you. I appreciate you. Aww. You remember that computer crash? Yeah, it was bad. I mean, it really happened during the live. Like, everything went haywire. It was so weird. And I talked to the other creators that happened to, and I told them it was all of my Watts files. And I had 2 locations of Secret Vault Watts files that were things that I either got from sources that I was never going to let go of or share or give up. Not a ton of stuff, but important stuff. And then also just, before Shanann's Facebook page was taken down and memorialized, I shouldn't say this, but I feel like I'm in trouble for it now, but it was fine to do it. I could foresee that was going to happen. People were getting cranky. They were starting to set up their shiners versus whatever's camps. And I was like, this ain't going well. They're going to, somebody's going to want to take away everything that ever existed because they want to make sure that whatever, and I'm not talking about the victims' family members because I don't think it was them. I don't think they've done anything wrong. I truly do not. I think that they're just suffering, and they're amazing people, and that's all that there is to it. I've got nothing but love for them. But I foresaw it coming, so I pulled as much as I possibly could from Shanann's page directly. Now remember, I already had explored this extensively and had a lot of information that I was using as artifacts because I was finishing up it was my second behavioral, the one that I had, my degree that I had to finish to become a behavioral therapist. And because prior to that I was doing other things. I just kept kind of winding through the field, finding out what I want to do, and I love what I do. It's awesome. I'm so lucky. I love what I do. I really do. So I already kind of knew what was out there, and I already had some stuff pulled, not even just from Shanann's Facebook page, but other information you could find in other places that would soon be scrubbed. And I just felt like I wanted to protect it. I didn't want to take it just so I have it all. I have it all. Ha, 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 ha. And I can make content and I can make money and nobody else is going to have it all. It wasn't like that at all. I wanted to protect it because I saw, it was my opinion, what I saw forming were people that were trying to freeze frame the reality of someone's life, history of somebody's life, in a way that was it wasn't even really a freeze frame because it wasn't even a snapshot of their life. Or maybe it was, but it had so many filters and AR on top of it that it wasn't even recognizable as being that person. I saw that people were trying to do that. People are trying to do that still. That's exactly what happened. So I'm glad that I grabbed all of that stuff. But a lot of it is gone. A lot of it, my friend Chris did recover, to his credit. He's amazing. And that was an expensive venture, by the way, to recover that stuff. But I really do think that there were some artifacts that I don't know if anybody else would have them at this point because they were so deeply buried. And if you weren't trying to protect that before people pulled everything, then maybe it won't be there anymore. And I just felt like it was someday going to maybe be important that information and that history of Shanann's life that she created in her life was there. Maybe not all of it, but there are things in there that I think are important that they were preserved. Certainly, I'm not the only person that has preservation from the original postings and whatnot of the Watts case. Tons of other people do. And I'm sure they have things that I don't have. I'm not trying to claim any ownership. I'm just trying to tell you what I did, what I had. Some things stupidly I did not have backed up on Thumb or Cloud, and what was attacked over, to the exclusion of thousands of other files that would have been easier to access than the Watts files, according to Chris, my computer guy. He tried to explain it to me, but I really don't understand, but that's what he said, and I believe him because he's a freaking genius with that stuff. So. Oh, well, local jazz hands, I'm glad you're there. Yeah. So Friday night, it's gonna probably at 9. I don't even care. We're just gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna. I separated part 2 and part 3, and then part 4. There's so much goddamn information. There's so much that we were not allowed to know. That it's knowable. And if I know it, you're gonna know it. Whether it comes in a big part 2 or part 2, 3, and 5. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm a little tired and overwhelmed right now. And I'm back to my, career job this week after being off for a couple of months. And tomorrow, we have our beautiful students, my sweet little, my little crazy teenagers. It's their first day. So, I've had to focus on that as well, of course. That, that's where my retirement fund is. It's got to be my priority. I'm just kidding about that, but it is important. I mean, I have a couple friends who have had jobs where they're, late 40s, 50, and they have they're just realizing they have no retirement. That's so scary. And I told my best friend, I was like, don't worry, sweetie, I'll take care of you. She's really bugged out about it. Her husband's 10 years older than her. And, I'm like the only important person in her life, I think, that's younger than her. She's just like having a moment. It's like, I will take care of you, and I will. I mean, she's done so. I mean, I was just talking about my mom this earlier. She's like the kind of friend everyone wants to have in life. She's amazing. And I hope I do half as much for her as she does for me. But, if she didn't have any family or anything left, I would take care of. I can't take care of all of them. So I'm like, God, what's going to happen to all the people that don't have any retirement? I'm sorry if you're in that situation. It's causing you anxiety. I got back into education from doing other things, like when I was site acquisitions and the other things you've heard me talk about, because I realized, shit, like I'm going to need a retirement. I'm a single mom. I'm a single woman. I don't want to have to feel like, oh my God, I'm going to have to get married to some jackass I don't want to be with. I'm a little selfish I've become selfish with my time. I don't know if I'm ever going to want that, I guess I am. I just like to spend my time the way I like to spend it. And I do things, I don't know if that's true, but I don't know. I don't know. I didn't want to go down that road, but, yeah, it's scary. Like, that's hard. So, as promised, let me just play some of the upcoming part 3. Oh, Cynthia, thank you very much for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Here we go. This is a good comment. This is an interesting comment. Carolina says, me personally, I absolutely respect Shanann Watts. She was one of the very first to share her MLM and include her precious family with all of us on Facebook. Was it the right thing to do? Right. Yeah, I know. That's the question. And, you're right. And I mean, there weren't any like long-term studies on that kind of thing at that time. I think she was just doing what she, felt like what should be done at the time. Like most of us. Hey, Alex Booyah, how are you doing? Carolina goes on to say, for many of us, no, it wasn't, but it felt right to her. Right, exactly. And honestly, we wouldn't know the depth of what was going on with her personal life if she hadn't, in the end. I do agree with everyone and how, and it's going to be continued. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Good comment. Hey, Clara, how are you? Hey, Kelly, how's it going, girl? Always nice to see you. Let's see. Katie Love says, in my opinion, NK was there. She helped him with his wife, and he said it was like someone had their hands around mine. I couldn't let go. Maybe she even got a video. Ooh, yikes! Yeah, man. I think she was involved. She wasn't. In my opinion, allegedly, and all that crap. Hi, Edward. How are you doing? Edward says, if you're looking for a jackass to marry, I'm single, but I can't provide the dream retirement yet. Well, thank you, Edward. I'll keep that in the back of my selfish with my time mind. You're so funny. Hey, think for yourself. How's it going? Think for yourself knows what I'm talking about, kind of. I don't know if you've heard me talking, but all right. So let me bring just into the live stream some of the massive part 2 that I don't give a shit what y'all do to me. We are gonna have a freaking classic Watts Friday night date night bash, and nobody is going to stop us. I mean, maybe they will, but I have a backup plan, so don't worry. In the beginning, I recapped the part 1. I don't know if that was a mistake or not. Maybe it's what kind of made this really long. And then I also mentioned the something many of you already heard about. And I went a little into detail with it, but I did different pictures and I spoke about it differently, so it's not as boring. But the whole issue with the work truck, how the evidence was collected, but it wasn't evaluated, and what a big deal that is. And that's going to loop around to several other things that are going to be revealed or discussed in the video. Let's see. What do I want to show you guys? You know about that. No, I like this guy here. Let's see. Oh, wait, I don't have my music licenses yet, so I can't play anything that's music in it. Here. I can hear the music in my head. I know what's playing here. Okay.
Saved my girl's life. Couldn't I?
Okay. Whoa. That's music I need a license for. Oh, did I bring in the stream yet? I don't even know if I did. I did. Okay. Let me just scoot past the license I didn't repurchase yet. Jesus.
That whole ride, like it's like 45 minutes to an hour ride out there, and it's just like, couldn't I have like saved my girl's life? Couldn't I have done something? Why did I do it? I don't know.
Right.
Like this is my flesh and blood. This is like what I wanted all my life.
Oh yeah, I didn't put this in high quality because I was just. This is such private. It was just one of my test uploads to see if I could clear all of the strikes and shit. That they just sprung on me tonight when I announced I was going to be playing it live. Mm-hmm. So it's a little. The video's not so great.
Just to be a dad, just to have kids, and they love me, they, all that, and it just nothing made sense.
I can do that. I don't mind giving you guys my time. I just need you guys to like help me with my employer and try to just help me brace for this immediate thing.
Even though I didn't know them, it's very surreal. They lived in this town. I guarantee I passed them at the grocery store, I know people who know them. I always think of The Last Daughter. I wonder what they saw. I think about the last one and how afraid she must have been. And God bless their souls.
Thank you for saying that thing for yourself. It takes me a fuckload of time to make these videos. They are so highly edited. I don't know, like, if you guys can. I never would have, like, even thought of it watching a video before I creating videos myself, but I am a little, like, maybe OCD with them sometimes. Like, the transit, it takes me a long time. Yes, a long time. I mean, this, the video that I have, I don't know if I'm going to be part 2 or part 2, 3, 4, blah, 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 but it's like couple 3 hours long at this point, and it took me hundreds of hours to make, literally. But I mean, this is like kind of an extensive project for me because, again, I want to get it right. I don't want to keep covering the same crap again and again and again and again and again. Everyone else can do that. So I wanted to put that effort into it, but yeah, it's a lot. And I usually love doing it, but sometimes I don't.
What we're looking at here is some of the actual footage from the drive from Saratoga Trail in Frederick, Colorado to Survey 319. Every time I see this, every single time, I think about Bella and I try to make myself imagine what it was she was feeling on this ride. And every single time it reminds me without any doubt that justice is worth pursuing, even if it takes a long time. And even if there are some kind of shady stops along the way.
For that night?
On Saturday?
Yeah, his kid. Well, his kids are with the babysitter. Do you know where his wife is?
She's in Arizona.
Okay. How do you know that?
Because he told me.
Okay. Do you know what she's doing there?
I think she's on a business trip. He didn't even tell me right away. He actually told me, I think, like on Saturday or something. It might have been like Friday or something. I honestly don't remember. I just remember I was like really surprised where he's like, hey, like, I'm going to try to get a babysitter if you want to hang out or something like that. And I was like, why do you need a babysitter? Like, your wife's home. He's like, no, she's out of town. I was like, oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there much conversation regarding that, her on being on a trip, or the children on during those conversations?
Not really. I just asked him what time she was coming home on Sunday, and he just said really late.
Okay.
And that was it. I mean, there's nothing really to talk about with that.
Okay.
Before moving forward into the part 2 content of this video series, let's first do a recap of what was discussed in part 1. The most important question that we asked, and we're hoping could possibly be answered, can be bounced over to District Attorney Rourke. Hey, Rourke, what's up with this statement?
Nichol Kessinger turned out to have information that I can best describe as being a bombshell.
District Attorney Rourke, I call your bluff. So we established through a conversation between Kevin Kobach and Stacey Galbraith and CBI's Tammy Lee that Nichol Kessinger was not in fact.
And again, some of this in this part of this the beginning of the video is a review of the part 1, because I tried to link up the questions to the answers based on what I learned too much about and themes. So it's so much information, and I'm just trying so hard for it to make the best possible sense and to tell the clearest possible story for all of us that I possibly can. Yeah. A lot of headaches.
Fact, an eyewitness. That was not the bombshell evidence.
I had to write a letter yesterday for Weld County to approve to pay for her treatment.
Oh.
And yeah, it's got to go through a board because it's kind of unusual.
Yeah.
Since she's not an eyewitness.
So we did learn that part of Nichol Kessinger's victim package that she received from the state was free therapy for victims of crimes. And I didn't even need to tell you this. The discovery makes it pretty clear, but it was on the first day that the FBI interviewed Nichol Kessinger, 2 days after the murders of Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and unborn baby Nico, did the FBI declare that she would be protected. Her identity would be protected. She was a protected witness. It's right here. Before interviewing her, before interrogating her, before checking out her alibi or vetting her, the FBI declared her protected from day 1. In addition to District Attorney Rourke declaring that Nichol Kessinger had what he could best describe as being bombshell evidence, he also described how she came to law enforcement and what it was she had to offer. We found this to be really curious because what he said does not align with any of the facts as we well know them to be.
Law enforcement got a phone call from a woman named Nichol Kessinger. She said that she had information and was offering to be interviewed as part of this investigation to offer up to investigators what she knew.
But of course, District Attorney Rourke, that silly guy, he doesn't always tell it exactly like it is. So it's more like this. Nichol Kessinger came forward because Ann Darko's Tony Husky, the supervisor for the division that she and Chris Watts worked for, found emails between Nichol Kessinger and Chris Watts from June 12th, 2018 that indicated to him that they might have a little romance brewing. When she found that out, of course she had to go to law enforcement because they were going to come to her if she didn't get to them first.
Shoot, I wanted to show you something else here, but the video I'm trying to download, and it's from the Netflix. You know that thing, right? Damn it, it's like not downloading yet though. I'm gonna go straight to Netflix, motherfuckers. Let's see. I don't want to play you all the dry stuff, but I don't want to do too much of the juicy either. Okay, I'm just going to keep letting this play for right now. I'm going to try to bring up Netflix so I can show you that little. It's like a 4-minute clip or so.
She didn't get to the.
And it's extremely important to what I just said there about her not coming forward like willfully. Tony Husky had already been onto our New York game. He'd already reported that to CBI, and I do not think that she, was like, I think I need to do the right thing and show up at the police station today. No.
Them first. And she certainly didn't share.
Station. She had them come pick her up and escort her in their car, like chauffeur style, to the park with her daddy and her doggy.
with law enforcement what she knew, just like that, easy breezy, because over the course of these several hours, almost 10 hours that law enforcement interviewed Nichol Kessinger, she changed her story on every material fact or point several times. And also, as we know, she deleted everything, all correspondence and anything having to do with herself and Chris Watts from her cell phone. And she also tried to bust her SIM card. So no, District Attorney Rourke, Nichol Kessinger was not forthcoming. Let's just be clear about that.
What did that cause you to do with your phone, though?
Oh, what? When I deleted those?
Yeah.
I was just kind of grossed out by him, to be honest with you. I removed it.
So you already said, but you removed text messages?
I deleted all of his
In
stuff.
my man
It was the
voice.
hurt that made me delete it. And then it was the lie that made me start questioning everything else he'd been telling me for the last few days.
And that's when you decided to come forward.
Yeah.
She was interviewed on multiple occasions. I believe that for the most part, she was forthcoming in the course of those investigations.
This man, this district attorney, this champion of justice is clearly all over the place. He changes his story nearly as much as Nichol Kessinger does, and we have to ask why that is. Well, in the part one, we went over all of the things that District Attorney Rourke knew during the time of this investigation about Nichol Kessinger and everything else. We went over things that he knew when he decided, oh, it is time to accept Chris Watts' plea deal and just get this whole thing over with. And the things that he knew raise some serious questions. Let's do a summary of the part one because all of this information is critical. Number one, Kessinger was treated as a witness from day one. Number two, the FBI protected her from day one. Number three, Rourke mischaracterized her reason for coming forward. Number four, Rourke over-exaggerated the value of her statements in helping the investigation and ultimately solving this crime. Number five, Rourke said himself that she hampered the investigation and that she was forthcoming for the most part. And finally, Rourke was aware of incriminating evidence that would show that Nichol Kessinger had guilty knowledge of this horrible crime and possibly more. Rourke was also aware of how the evidence in this case was handled, what evidence was collected, how it was processed, if it was processed or analyzed at all. He also was aware of the direction the investigation was heading in had he not accepted the plea deal from Chris Watts. We are left with these central questions. Why did District Attorney Rourke accept a plea deal from Chris Watts, putting no conditions whatsoever on that plea deal? Why did District Attorney Rourke and law enforcement protect Nichol Kessinger? Why was there a need to protect Chris Watts' mistress, and how did protecting her benefit law enforcement or district attorney's office? Since we know by Nichol Kessinger's own admission and District Attorney Rourke's statements, she did in fact break laws. She deleted evidence, she destroyed evidence, she obstructed justice. What was the full extent of her knowledge or involvement before, during, or after these horrific crimes? And since we know that she did commit offenses, why were serious, chargeable offenses completely ignored? Here's where things get tricky. To answer all of those questions, especially together, you can't really find an answer that makes sense. You can come up with things like, well, obviously people didn't really want to know what happened. People didn't want to know if there was more than one person involved in this horrible crime, or they just didn't really care to know the whole story at all. They figured, no one was really going to be interested. The families weren't going to care. The lives didn't matter. So they just weren't really going to look into it too deeply, right? And that doesn't make any sense. That's absurd, right? If you've been following this case at all, it's likely that you've heard Tammy Lee's statement about, we had so much more work to do. It felt so weird.
We didn't examine all the evidence. We didn't interview every witness we needed to. We didn't do all of these things that you would do in a normal investigation because he stopped the clock.
Case of a missing mother and her 2 young daughters. Their father pleading for their safe return, but this morning, he's the one in custody.
And all of a sudden, I receive a phone call from Detective Baumover, and he said, hey, Chris is going to plead guilty to all charges.
Christopher Watts has pleaded guilty to killing his pregnant wife, Shanann, and 2 young daughters, Bella and Celeste, and their unborn son, Nico.
Whoa, wait, we're not done. We have all these things to do. We were relieved that it was going to be over, but at the same time, we felt like, in a sense, we didn't finish.
As Tammy Lee said, Chris Watts,
he stopped the clock.
No, I didn't.
So,
wait, yeah, I have to. This isn't my final edit. Anyway, I'm bringing something different in because I didn't upload the complete video yet. And hi, Bells. She's so cute. Okay, so here we are going to take a look at American Murders. Remind me if I forget to pause often and grunt loudly. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, evidence to be there. Okay. Very good. That was smart. Good job, Kelly.
I got married.
Smart.
We moved out here after visiting, fell in love with the area. It's gorgeous in Colorado.
Okay, I can't play this, I can't play like a ton of this, so I can just get to where I gotta get to. Oh, yeah, it's just a small one. This is the one that has what I need. We're gonna find out, aren't we? Oh yeah, it does. Yay! Sweet. Okay.
What do you do? I work on gas and trucker. What do you do for them? Operator. There was no note or anything by the wedding ring?
I wasn't looking for
Right,
a
think for
boyfriend,
yourself, right.
And all of a sudden, I get a friend request. I said, "What the heck? I'll never meet him. It's just a Facebook friend. I have a million of them." But the thing about Facebook is you eventually probably meet the person.
Yuck.
When I met Chris.
All this.
Guess what,
Okay,
girls?
yeah, okay.
Guess
This is
Okay, she makes sense. Okay, she makes sense. God bless you both. I just want to say I love you both. You look great together. She's been looking her whole life for a good guy. I couldn't ask for a better one. Love you guys.
Oops. Wait. I'm sorry. I'm like literally falling asleep. I'm really tired. Pause and grunt. Pause and grunt. Look at that happy couple at the time. Nice if you could get a fitted tux, Chris Watts, for your wedding. Or not.
And now we have 2 kids. We live in Colorado, and he's the best thing that has ever happened to me.
Definitely an odd one.
I need to pause and grunt again. I'm sorry. Pause, grunt, pause. Sorry. That's what I learned in one of my takedowns. 1 second, I'll leave it pause for a second while I'm looking for that. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's it. True Crime Rocket Science. Thank God for him. I mean, a lot of the stuff that he had was taken down off of his blog site, but He got a lot of great information at the very beginning. So a lot of great creators did that. No, I want to see the actual emails though. Oxygen, you kind of suck. Lame. All right. Oops, sorry. See, I like literally just dozed off again. That's terrible, isn't it? I don't even know how long I was just sitting there for. Oh my God. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really tired. All right. I'm just going to show this part and then we'll move on to Friday. Phew. Nope, too far. Darn it. All right, I'm going to go back a little bit in this so I hopefully can then match up the relevant parts and then move on to the next thing I want to talk about.
What you take for a quick trip?
Oh, wait, was it? No. Never mind. I bring the other video in. Whatever. I'm just going to play this for a minute. Okay.
What do you do? I work on gas and truck. What do you do for them? Operate. I'm so like silly right now. There was no note or anything by the wedding ring?
I wasn't looking for a boyfriend, and all of a sudden.
All right, pay attention to everything. Got an email.
I like that shirt. Really?
Really?
Awesome. So pink means.
That's just a test.
I know. It just says the pink is going to be girls.
I don't know. Just a test.
That's awesome. Guess when you want to, it happens.
Mm-hmm. Oops.
Guess what, girls? Guess what? Zizi? There's a baby in mommy's belly.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Mama,
Here's.
your buddy.
It's in mommy's belly, you
They're so
silly.
cute.
She's in my belly.
Boy. Chris wants a boy. I hope it's a boy for him. It'll make him happy. We go for our first ultrasound at 3-ish, 3:15.
Hey, Sherry.
And I'm kind of nervous because every time you go, you're like, is there one? Is there two? Is there three? Hey, Bella, how many babies do I have in my belly?
5.
Whoa. That's a lot of babies. I can't tell you guys how much I am blessed. I was told I couldn't have kids. Not Cece, Bella? Say Cece. But I had 2 beautiful girls, little baby monsters, as I call them.
She looks shocked.
Say hi. Cece doesn't stop, literally.
Oh,
Bella's just
I'm playing too much of this. If we get taken down, I'm sorry. Okay. So, what I want you to notice is the dates here. Let's see. Just don't fall asleep.
she wants.
Okay. So here, all right. So this is okay. So Sinead Watts really made 2 pregnancy announcements to the girls. I think she, to me, my take on it, and this is just how I feel about it. It seems like maybe she didn't get the camera ready reaction she wanted from this one. So then she did the one where they're on the couch kicking. It's kind of contrived. But I also want you to just notice here. Notice Bella and Cece's interactions. Just notice. I mean, for what it's worth. Does that make it? Yeah, that's good.
Guess what?
Look at Bella.
Cece?
And then
There's
she's
a
like,
baby
oh, wait.
in mommy's belly.
I'm supposed to be too cool for school, just drinking my milk.
Just like try and wear like.
June 11th. June 11th, 2018. June 11th, 2018. This is how Chris found out. And I know some of you already know this, but we're going to go full circle from beginning to end on Friday. Not now. I'm falling asleep. June 11th. June 11th. I wonder why she posted this.
We did it. I like that shirt. Really?
Really?
That's awesome. So pink means.
That's just a test.
I know. It just says the pink is going to be girls.
I don't know. Just a test.
That's awesome. Guess when you want to, it happens.
Guess what, girls? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? TC?
Watch them.
There's a baby in mommy's belly.
Poor Bella. She had a hard time being herself.
It's in mommy's belly, you silly.
She's in my belly.
Okay, so now the date on this one here, her first pregnancy announcement to the girls was June 9th, okay? So the first time I believe she posted about her pregnancy was June 9th. The video with her announcement to Chris was June 11th.
Boy, Chris wants a boy. I hope it's a boy for him. It'll make him happy. We go for our first ultrasound at 3-ish.
And what is the date on that? I don't know if it shows it here, but I have it somewhere. Because it's important too.
Guess what, girls? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? TC? There's a baby in mommy's belly.
Your buddy.
It's in mommy's belly, you silly.
She's in my belly.
Boy, Chris wants a boy. I hope it's a boy for him. It'll make him happy.
Hold on. You see the date. Hold on. I gotta go slow. Oh, I can't slow it down because they know that I'm doing what I'm doing.
No CC, Bella?
Just like.
Darn it. It's so hard to calibrate, like just moving this little thing around with a long video. All right, we got it. I want to watch Chris again. Come on.
3:15.
Arr.
And I'm kind of nervous. Guess what, girls? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? TC? There's a baby in mommy's belly.
Your buddy.
It's in mommy's belly, you silly.
She's in my belly.
Boy, Chris wants a boy. I hope it's a boy for him. It'll make him happy.
Oh, what is the date on this? I don't
we
know.
go for our first ultrasound.
I can't look it up. I'm too tired.
3:15. And I'm kind of nervous.
And he doesn't go because he encounters a tornado. So Bella goes, right? Yes.
Because every time you go, you're like, is there one? Is there two? Is
Are
there
there
three?
15?
Hey, Bella, how many babies do I have in my belly?
Oops. Shit, come on. Shut up, Chris.
Guess what, girls?
Ah!
Guess what? Guess what? TC?
Guess what? Oh, it goes ahead.
She's in my belly.
Oh, good. There we go. Smart
Babies do
Kelly.
I have in my belly?
And, oh, shit.
Whoa.
Arrgh. I want the date on that.
Chris wants a boy. And I'm kind of nervous. Because every time you go, you're like, is there one? Is there two? Is there three? Hey, Bella, how many?
So in this one, I believe this was on the, I think this was on the 12th.
Babies do I have in my belly?
5.
Whoa.
Bella, you silly girl.
Cece, Bella? Say Cece? But I had two beautiful girls, little baby monsters, as I call them.
All right. Yeah. And then I tape, and then I just kept recording a freaking picture. Okay. So, as we saw, the first time Shanann posted about the pregnancy, you guys know where I'm going with this, was on June 9th, right here. She posted another picture on the 10th, and that was the preferred reaction from the girls with one on the couch. I'm sorry, they're both kicking their legs. And then the announcement to Chris was on the 11th. So June 9th, 10th, and 11th of 2018, that's what was on her Facebook page. She was stoked, apparently. She was happy. She's pregnant. She thinks she's going to be adding to her beautiful family. Total reason to celebrate. And then, now where'd this go? Here it is, right? Let me just cue it up properly. Jeez, thanks for breaking this down, but seriously. Who's this guy? Okay. What? I want that. Oh. See, I'm being OCD about it again. Let me just do one more thing. See if I can find the one that actually shows you the date. Not that you won't believe me, but. Right, see if I can find it. Okay. Yes, here it is. I think. Yes, I think this is it. Okay. Oh no, this isn't it, but I didn't even know that this was said. What? I totally forgot it. Oh my god. Hold on, wait. Wow. Okay. Well, since I'm here, I'm going to bring this into the stream because this is interesting too. It goes along with the theme. Yeah. Might as well. This is True Crime Rocket Science. This is actually the first YouTuber that I ever watched about this case, and I watched a lot because when I was doing my research for my degree program, and I didn't even like understand that YouTubers were. I didn't know where his information was a number of places, but I didn't think of him as being a YouTuber. I thought of him as being a source of, captured, memorialized, actual accurate information that was hard to find sometimes already of these documents and evidence that maybe some people didn't want everyone to see.
I think that's true. I think that is how he felt, that what was going on there had to stop, kind of thing. And that brings us to another intertextuality. Amanda Knox, when her boyfriend recanted,
what's he talking about here?
Asked about his accomplice Charlie, and he couldn't stop laughing. And so we've also got accomplices now, supposedly, in Chris Watts' version.
Charlie came by and mentioned something about what was going on at her house. And I remember thinking, well, whatever's going on over there has got to stop.
Amanda Knox, when her boyfriend, but you had something similar with illusion and acting with deliberation, because it's is in his and being very specific.
Okay.
not a man, a particular man, right? So after Knox signed this, the police in the room.
Stop talking about Knox.
You know, the confession I gave sort of suit, and I'm unsure if they are real. Stand far more accurate, and some people have given up that reality for it's fiddle with intent. True, but it's interesting to see how I'd gotten there, when I'd arrived, or even why I was there, and then it came back to me very slowly. The recital with little. Even why I was there, and then it more ugly.
Dude, where? Oh my gosh. Okay, hold it. Jeez. Super frustrating. Mm-hmm. Oh, here it is. Okay, got it. Ding, 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 ding. Thank you. Okay, so again, so first time Shanann posts about her pregnancies on June 9th, 2018. She also posts the second video to the girls sharing the pregnancy with the girls on June 10th. The video telling Chris Watts about the pregnancy is on June 11th. And we have some emails, a series of emails. Well, the first one is from Nichol Kessinger or Nikki Kessinger to gentlemen at Anadarko. And then the other ones are just between Chris Watts and Nikki at Anadarko. I think there's 6 in total. As far as we know, those are the only emails between them. They're the only ones that were released in Discovery. And as you may have anticipated or may have known, after Shanann posts about her pregnancy for the first time on June 9th, then again on the 10th, and then again on the 11th, all of these emails were exchanged on the same day, and that day was June the 12th. Pregnancy video, announcement to the family on June 9th, 10th, and 11th. First time ever emails between Nichol Kessinger and Chris Watts on the 12th. Oops. Okay, so we've got, sorry, on the 12th. Gentlemen, and you've got to imagine this is just a reason for her to maybe get in touch with Chris Watts. I'm not sure. Gentlemen, I spoke with my guest monitor vendor regarding your app access. Our account has been reset. Please continue to use the same credentials you were provided upon receiving your unit. Let me know if you continue to have issues or require any further. Okay, and then on the 12th also, she says, Chris, thank you for being honest with me this morning. Truthfulness is so underrated in our culture. Saludos cordiales, Nikki. Pregnancy videos for the first time on June 9th, 10th, and 11th, respectively. This bullshit on the 12th. Man. And she says when they met that she thought that they were getting, oh my God, separating. It's just so, it's laughable. Chris says, Nikki, I'm a straightforward guy. Bullshit. Lying just complicates things. I think you're absolutely stunning. And from what I've learned about you so far, you seem like an amazing person. I hope to continue to get to know you better since we have a lot in common. I hope I get to continue to know you better. This is on June 12th. The only emails between them on June 12th, after Shanann's first pregnancy videos were posted to Facebook on June 10th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, respectively. Just want to make sure you got that in your head. Because when we look at the other end of things, it gets really incriminating. Chris says, agreed. It's always nice to find people you can relate to. I enjoy talking to you as well. I feel understood. I'm looking for someone to build a beautiful life with. Seems so simple, but so unrealistic. Build something similar to what you have done with your wife and those little girls. So then Chris says, Nikki, yes, a beautiful life is something that is hard to find in this world since people always seem to have an agenda for everything. I do believe in karma. Hope you do, buddy. So I agree with that as well. Any conversations we have will stay between us. No need to worry there. My work number is if you YouTube's been freaking nixing me for that too. So anyway, so you get the point. So it's pretty clear that when the first evidence of their relationship exists, other than, was it Cody Roberts or talking about seeing them talking close, in the office and all of that, it is the day it is the only day they share emails immediately preceding the 3 respective days when Shanann announces her pregnancy to her family and to the world. Well, we don't know if that's the day she announced to her family. Those are the days she posted it to share with the world through, sharing with them what she said to her family members. Capiche? Pretty wild, right? So again, when we look at the other end of their communications and what was going on in that week before the tragedy, it is absolutely fucking mind-blowing. I've been, combing through the making the real timeline as opposed to the one that, law enforcement likes to put out for us. And when I was working on it for this whole project and really making sure I hit all the high points and got all the details, whether they were included in the Discovery timeline or not, I was like, oh my God, this is fucking crazy. This is crazy. So yeah. Again, we'll experience all of that together on Friday evening, and I just don't care. I don't care what becomes of me because I'll have my podcast channel set up by then. I'll share it with you before then. So if the powers that be decide that they're going to be nasty. No, they're not powerful though. I just can't care about it anymore. When does this one start? I'm just about to wrap this one up. It started an hour and a half ago. Hey, Stevie, how's it going? Yeah, if you guys didn't see the beginning. Yeah. Hey, Jean Russell, how are you doing? Don't know if Bella meant CW, but I believe she felt something was wrong. Children are so smart. Absolutely. They're so intuitive. But that was like 10 minutes ago, so I'm not sure we were watching at the time, but yeah. Hey, Fluffy Muppet. Did I say hello already? Hey, Desiree. How are you doing? And I just highlight your comment. Oh, think for yourself. I don't know. Do you want to shoot me an email? I'm not I'm not going to disclose all of that like publicly just because I don't want to play into, I don't want to play into what's what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But I will tell you. I just don't want to say it on the live stream. And they're all. I mean, they're all bullshit. I didn't. There's nothing like copyright infringed whatsoever. Great questions, Carolina. NK was stalking Shanann on Facebook. Yeah, she certainly was. So how come she lied? There has to be a reason behind her lying. Why? How did NK think that would help? Very interesting. That's a really good question. That's a really good question to reflect on. Yeah, what is the reasoning? Great question. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Think for yourself. I'm not trying to be confusing, but yeah, if you can just go watch it on like double speed or something, or email me, I'll fill you in. Yeah, right, exactly. And Kay was stalking Shanann on Facebook. She had to have seen these videos. Absolutely, she did. Friday at 9. It should be Friday at 9. It should be definitely Friday at 9. 'Cause I don't have to get anything together or anything. It's all there. And I made my decisions. My stand. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we're gonna do it then. Jim, where's the first part of your comment there? So Jim said, what'd you say here? 3 kids and no bills getting paid. Oh, right. Something is wrong here. Yeah. I mean, that was delusional living, thinking. Absolutely. Really wrong. If you want to, yeah, it's just, yeah, it's pretty messed up. But I mean, people do it for sure. NK was on the hunt. She sure was. Okay. Jim has. How much does that Thrive stuff cost, and how does it work? How does it work? I tried it, including the dual. Part of researching for this because I was just so super curious. Stuff like what is it? And there's really no clear answer to what's into it. I mean, there's some of an answer, but there's also, it's super unregulated. But the dual burn patches, I wore them for like less than a week. I'd stopped wearing them because they're making me sweat. They're making me feel really anxious. I wasn't like trying to lose weight, and I was losing weight. I mean, I wouldn't say they were as like, powerful as like a heavy stimulant or something. Like some people are saying they're like, but it didn't have that. It certainly didn't have that effect on me. But it definitely had an effect on me. I mean, it raised my core temperature for sure. It was definitely a thermogenic effect. I can tell you that. It was uncomfortable. I did not like it. Maybe if I was like trying to lose weight, I would have been like, yeah, I mean, it's working, but it wasn't. It's definitely had an effect. Say that. And oh yes, it is very expensive, James. Well, here I can tell you exactly how. I actually have a Thrive account under Nichol Kessinger. Just one second, I can tell you how much everything is. I think for a package of like the Thrive Duo Burn, I think there's like $178. They suck you so far in before they give you prices. I mean, that's a common thing that companies do, but certainly not just Thrive. Shop and explore. Let's do that. I would like to shop and explore, please. Okay, so I'll just share this page with you. Fences. Oh, no, they're not that much. So a package of the Duo Burn is $110. But that's only like a 2-week supply, I think. Here, let me just show this to you. Okay, so now, of course, when you're doing the Thrive system, you have to do all of these things, right? And then there's other products that, they're encouraged to sell, overstock on, pack away in your basement in giant Tupperware containers in case there's a nuclear holocaust, something like that. So, so the first step is, step 1, tells you right here, is the capsule. So the capsules are $76, and let's see. If I click in, I'll be able to tell you how many days it's going to last you. No, I don't want to check out. How did I do that? I don't think I have any like credit card information here. Okay, and then we also have, as part of step 1, I guess. I don't know. What is this? Oh, Thrive Elite. So that's just more nutritional crap and water. $80. Oh, I was gonna click in to tell you how many. Geez, I'm really tired, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, that's how I added to my cart. Oh my. Yes, that's how online shopping happens, Kelly. Yep, that's how it happens usually. Okay. Okay, so apparently it's a month supply. And you get Thrive's proprietary blend, which is a blend of nothingness. You're going to pee out. Vitamin B12, which is probably overjacked on, probably lots of yellow pee. Folic acid. These are typical women's vitamins, nutrients. And it is gluten-free. Premium grade. But not allergy-free. There's a warning on many of the products, the like foodie products for tree nuts specifically. I've made some videos about that too. If you want to talk about that sometime, we can go into it, but it's not gonna be now. Step 2, the shakes. $56, $58, and one package of shake, one product of shake for a month is not enough. I do know that because I was told that when I was doing my Thrive experience. It didn't last very long. Because I have lupus. I was diagnosed 4 years ago, and this past April. And when I thought that I talked to my rheumatologist about taking this, and we had a misunderstanding. He thought I was just talking about my freaking YouTube channel. And then when he found out I was taking it, he's like, "Stop taking all that stuff right now. If you have like an autoimmune situation, this is gonna make it so much worse. Like, how are you feeling?" I'm like, "Not so great." It's like, no wonder why. Step 3 is the DFTs or the patches or the silly stickers. So the basic ones are $66, and then black and white label are $82, and then Duo Burn is $110, And let's see if they say it's a month supply, because it's really, I don't think it is doing that. So it says here, Duo Elite. I haven't even looked into this one yet, but let's see what it says. Duo Elite has forceline in it. That's one that's in burn as well. And they say that is I don't know if they say it's thermogenic, but it's kind of like that. Gemena, still some blah, 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 I don't know. But when I used to teach yoga for a very long time, and I studied Ayurveda, which is like Indian system of medicine, health, wellness, like different than here, they believe that, the key to health and wellness is to be in sync with nature. Like when you're exhausted, oh my God, it's getting late, gotta go back. But I'm sorry. It's a popular herb that's taken in Ayurveda, and I can't remember what effect it has, but I don't know. Transdermally, I'm not sure. And L-carotene, I don't. So it says increase your caffeine for thermogenic activity. Okay, there we go. Thermogenic. Higher concentration of ingredients to support fat burning while retaining lean muscle. Double PEA or whatever that is. Content for increasing energy and weight reduction. Expanded footprint to improve absorption, 9 square inches. Dual action duo construction. That means you wear 2 patches at a time, my friends. 2 patches at a time. Wearing 2 patches at a time, once they came out with duo burn, duo meaning 2, was not a sin. It was prescribed by Thrive. Nichol Kessinger, wrong again. Nina, boo, boo, boo. So, all right, that's it. That's what I got for you. I'm falling apart, my friends. But I'm glad that you're here to witness that. Oh my gosh. So, we'll be here Friday night, We're doing it, man. It's happening. It's happening. Like Nichol Kessinger said about, that's part. Oh, there's so much more than what I just showed you. Oh my God. There's just yeah. There's a lot. lot. Yes, I'm definitely going to do a podcast. I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I need to do something that's going to force me to, because I have so much stuff on other cases I'm really interested in. I started, writing scripts or just the topics I want to talk about, certain cases. I have several different videos started. And podcast kind of will force me to do something more structured, because that's generally how they are, organized. Utter says you're very wise, Edward. What did he say? Hey, Eileen, how are you doing? Does anyone know the type of lupus that Shanann has? I don't really know if lupus is, lupus affects, for me, it's my kidney. It's my kidneys, joint and skin, but mostly my kidneys. I get terrible. I knew something was really wrong, because I started getting kidney stones. I was like, I wasn't even 40 and very healthy. Very healthy. I've been a vegetarian my whole life. Drink a lot of water, exercise. Don't eat. Well, I don't eat as well as I did then, but not the kind of person that gets kidney stones. And then they often turn into these horrible infections I'd have to get hospitalized for. I don't think I've ever been hospitalized for anything else other than when the lupus symptoms when I didn't know what it was. And I'd have as an adult like almost 106-degree fever. It was really scary. Yeah. I thought in Scarface they said don't get high on your own supply. That's right. Right. Don't get, yeah. That's funny. Yeah. James, I'm sorry, says, yeah, that's quite sobering if you add that up over a year. Absolutely it is. Oh yeah. You know what? Did you do that math? I'm gonna do that math sometime. I'm too tired to right now. I think I'd mess it up, but please remember, thank you, KV Love. Yes, please remember to hit the like button. I really appreciate it, guys. Elaine says, my mother has a rare type. I'd wondered if Thrive helped Shanann. Well, that's what I was just saying. We were just here when I shared that I was diagnosed with lupus 4 years ago, this past April, and that was a year later when I started this channel, both in April. And my rheumatologist was like, dude, stop. Like, was like, oh, no, contraindicated. You cannot take this stuff. When I told him I was taking this Thrive, and I brought in, the ingredients and stuff to show him because I wasn't feeling good. All right, guys. So Mama gonna go to bed. I got my kids for the first time tomorrow, my students. So, I should have been to bed by now, but it's great to see you guys. Thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you so much. Hi, Tammy. How are you? If you were deaf and only watched, let me turn this. Yikes. And only watched the sleazy empanada in the interview room for 5 minutes, you would know she is guilty as the day is. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the body language is weird. It's weird. She's yeah, I mean, she thinks she's very slick and sly and smart, but is very telling. And why all of those investigators, the prosecutor's office, district attorney's office, the different levels of investigation, the FBI, the CBI, and like I said, I cannot include the Frederick Police Department in the let's see, like the organized rejection of truth in this case, and maybe we could call that corruption. Why did they all go? Why, right? I mean, and I think that in my opinion, I've been able to indicate towards some answers as to why that is. Whereas, 6 months ago, I had no speculative answer to that question that I could really put anything behind other than it's just my pure speculation. But I've got a couple things now, so we'll talk about them. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we will end just hearing a little bit from our girl. Ooh, what was this intro?
whatever happened to him just acted pure evil.
Can't play that anymore, even though I bought the license a few times over, and it was expensive because YouTube changed their policies. Thanks again, YouTube. Now you can buy crappy music on YouTube Music. Makes me mad.
I guess just call me back when you have a chance. Hi. Hi. It's me. I miss your face. I was just calling to say hi. Call me back.
Thank you so much for coming out here with me, Christopher. I'm having a wonderful time. You mean a lot to me, and I'm glad that you're having a blast. I am so out of breath.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm really trying to help you guys. I need you guys to help me too. Like,
Yes,
we'll
ma'am.
do this as a team, but just don't
So
fucking let me down,
the
please.
reason why we can't, like, I did think about this yesterday, that I would like to sit down with you once we have your text messages and the phone calls, and we can put them in a some type of easily looking, that we can sit down and look at them and compare them, and we can kind of get the context of how everything was going that night. I would like to do that with you. Unfortunately, so the download that we got yesterday is going to take multiple days to be analyzed. I probably won't have it back till next week. And then because you guys did have so many text messages, one of my analysts is working on getting those in order, so we can put something together where we can actually sit down and discuss it. But I do think that's something that I want to do in the near future, sometime probably next week.
I mean, I can do that. I don't mind giving you guys my time. I just need you guys to, like, help me with my employer and try to just help me brace for this media thing.
I'm with you. We definitely need to accelerate the case, because the more it takes, the less sure that they are of situations.
He murdered her. She's out of the picture. You're never going to know if she was pregnant. If he can get away with murder, you're not going to. I got divorced from my wife. You say, do you understand what I'm saying here? If she's gone,
But this.
Don't lead.
Hypothetically,
please.
Yeah.
Don't lead
hypothetically,
on.
if she, you understand where I'm going. If
Right,
you
but
didn't know,
you're leading into questions that are nothing with your.
if you didn't know though,
Wait, Nick.
that she was there.
Did you hear what I said?
I'm following you.
Stop asking about it. She didn't have anything to do with it. She wasn't there that morning. She voluntarily cooperated with law enforcement. She provided us all the information. I'm not going to tell you where she's at. Stop. Leave me alone.